Hey guys, this is Tiffany, aka the Tiffinator, and today I'm bringing you a game of domination on Nuketown. So my perks for this game are Marathon Pro, Warlord Pro, and Ghost Pro. And the reason I wanted to bring you this game is because I know that, playing the same old games over and over and using the same weapons can kind of get a little stale and boring. And so for this game, I really am just trying to knife people. And so I do use, claymores and kill streaks. And for my kill streaks, I'm using, let's see, spy plane, mortar team, and napalm strike. And so other than, claymores and kill streaks, I really am just trying to knife people. And I think that switching things up a bit sometimes kind of like refreshes the game a little bit. And I know a lot of people have been saying they can't wait for November when Modern Warfare 3 comes out. But that they're just kind of tired of these games already. And I think switching it up and, pushing yourself to use weapons that you don't normally use kind of helps me so that I can enjoy playing again, because it's kind of like a whole new game if I try to push myself to do things that I normally don't do. And Nuketown is great for, just using my knife, because it's such a small map that I don't know. It's good to try out knifing, because I think that as far as gameplay, it makes it a little bit more exciting when you're in closer boundaries and there's more action. So the other weekend, I hung out with one of my girlfriends, and she wanted to take her dog to the dog park. So we went and hung out at our local dog park. She has a super cute dog. It's a mutt. I don't know exactly what all the breeds are, but you can tell she has a sort of like dachshund in her. Maybe a little pit. I'm not sure, but definitely you can tell she has that super slender, long body that a dachshund usually has. And my friend is so good about training her. She knows all these different tricks, how to roll over, she does this one where she like pretends to shoot her dog, and her dog like has a slow death. It's really funny. But we went and hung out at our local dog park, and we have a couple around us, but the one that we went to is so pretty. I mean, they keep the grounds immaculate there. The grass is super green and lush and full, and it's beautiful there. So we love to go there and just walk around and get some exercise. So we went there this past weekend, and there weren't that many dogs. I was kind of surprised for a weekend morning. I thought there would be more, but there was maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4. And we were just walking around talking. When I go to the dog park with her, we usually don't, socialize too much with people. I mean, we go together, so we talk with each other. But I find that a lot of people that go to dog parks kind of like let their dogs hang out with the other dogs and try to befriend people and try to make friends. But I don't know. I guess we're kind of shy, or we just kept to ourselves. But we were walking around and running with Daisy, that's her dog, and it was kind of hot, so we ended up resting in the shade. Well, this guy came over and he wanted to talk and see her dog and all that stuff, and I don't know, he was like maybe in his mid to late 40s, and I don't know, it was kind of awkward, but we were really nice and we were talking to him, and he had all these theories about people and their dogs and how the dogs end up acting like their owners and things like that. And so we're like, oh, okay, just trying to be nice and listen to him. Well, when we're talking to him, a bunch of kids come in. Like, I'm talking like maybe 9 or 10 kids, and they're all ranging from like 3 years old to, I don't know, like 10 or 11 years old. And they're all like crazy, like, dogs! And they didn't come with dogs. I mean, the dog park is connected to a regular park, so the kids were there playing at the park and saw the dogs and wanted to come in and pet them. And all the other dogs were huge dogs, like huskies, German shepherds, like big dogs. And so Daisy was the only small dog. So they all like ran over and they're like, "Can we pet your dog? I want to see your dog," you know, and they're all excited. And the guy like freaked out and he's like, "Oh, my dog gets really excited. So just be careful. Don't get him too excited because he likes to jump." And they're like, and I was like, "Oh, you can come see Daisy. She's fine, you know." And so she's really good because my friend trains her really well. So we told her to sit and lay on the grass so the kids could just, you know, come around and pet her. So I'm sitting there with the kids and they're all petting Daisy and they're asking me questions. And out of nowhere, his dog, leaps over Daisy and tackles a little girl, like a little 3-year-old girl. And it was just like so surreal. It was like his dog jumped over a hurdle and just like crashed right directly into her, like took her out. And I like couldn't move. I was like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" And you know, there's like that 1 or 2 seconds where a little kid like falls and they're like, "What the heck happened?" You know, and they're all like confused, and then all of a sudden they start crying. And you can like totally see that chain reaction. It's like crazy. But he like ran over and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Are you okay?" And he picks up the girl and holds her. And he's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm thinking, this guy is a stranger and he just picked her up and she's probably freaking out like, "Who the heck is this guy who has me?" So this other girl, I don't know if it was her sister, came over and was like, "Oh, I'll take her, you know, let's go home. She's crying, let's go home." And I'm thinking, she's fine. She's not hurt. And maybe that's just the tomboy in me. But I'm like, she fell in grass. Like, you know, she's not hurt. She's just freaked out. So I'm like, "Oh, she's probably just surprised. You're just surprised, aren't you?" And she's still crying. So I'm like, "Oh, what's your name?" And the older girl is like, "Oh, her name's Chloe." And I was like, "Oh, that's such a pretty name." And then I remembered Daisy knows a trick called Chloe, named after my friend's, one of my friend's friends. Her, this is so confusing. Her friend's dog is named Chloe, and she named a trick after her friend's dog. So I'm like, "Oh, Daisy knows how to do a trick that has the same name as you. Do you want to see it?" And so I tell Daisy to sit and do the Chloe. And the Chloe is, what she does is she just sits on her hind legs. And because she's a dachshund breed, her torso is so long that she looks so ridiculously funny because her legs are so short and she's just sitting up. Well, the kids weren't that enthusiastic about that one, but I got the little girl to stop crying. And so I'm like, "Okay, well, that trick was a dud. Do you want to see her roll over?" And so I made her roll over, and all the kids got so excited, and they're like, "Show us another trick." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I look at Daisy, and I said, "Daisy, do you want to die?" And I was going to shoot her. And this little boy is like, "My dog just died 3 months ago." And I'm like, "Oh. Okay, maybe we shouldn't do that trick." So I'm like, "Do you want to shake?" And so she gave me her paw and we shook hands and all the little kids were happy. And that other guy and his dog left like super fast after that because he was so embarrassed that his dog tackled a little kid. But I got all the kids to round up and stop crying and they were all happy. And then they left the park really happy. And so I felt kind of happy, but it was such a weird day. And so me and my friend just like totally cracked up about that outing because it was so random. But if you have any dog stories, I would love to hear it. I love dogs and I don't own one yet, but I love going to the dog park with my friend and seeing all the different dogs. They're so cute. Well, it's almost the end of the video. we end up winning and I get 46 kills and 12 deaths. So I know I kind of die a lot, but I thought this is a good video because I'm just knifing people and I thought it was a lot of fun. So I hope that you like it. Don't forget to like the video if you do and leave a comment if you want to. This is the Tiffinator. Come play with me.